Okay. That's the tasting room right there. Yeah, this is a bit warmer. Come on down. We've got plenty of seats down here in the front if you would like a seat. All right, don't be shy. The front row gets served first. Well, thank all of y'all for coming out this morning for this exciting announcement. I'm Bobby Carmichael, Executive Director of the Downtown Authority, and we got a few people that want to make a few remarks, and then we'll hear from Anthony Rodriguez, the founder of the brewery. So we'll start off with Mayor Jim Thornton.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Bobby, and thank all of you for coming out today. I'd like to welcome you here to downtown LaGrange on a beautiful Thursday morning, right here gathered at the former Westbrook Tire Company, which is about to take on a new life and about to become a new important anchor for our downtown. So I'd like to welcome all of you. I'd particularly like to thank the elected officials who have joined us this morning. I know we have two members of the LaGrange City Council that I've seen. We have Council Member Nick Woodson and we have Councilman Mark Mitchell. I haven't seen any of my other council members here this morning, but the City Council is very excited anytime that there's a new project, a new investment in LaGrange anywhere, but particularly in downtown. And I also know we have our mayors from our sister cities of Hogansville and West Point. Appreciate y'all being here, and some of your city council members as well. George Bailey, thank you for being here. Do we have anybody from the county? I haven't seen the elected officials. Yeah, we also are glad to have our city and county manager and our Hogansville city manager is here, I think, also. So appreciate all of you being here this morning. It's always exciting to have an investment in your city. And we're delighted that we're having a lot of investment in LaGrange right now. And this is another very important investment, another very exciting opportunity with the unveiling of the brewery here in downtown. It's always exciting to have new businesses, the new foot traffic that it will bring. But I'm particularly excited about the location, not just in downtown, but on the south side of downtown. Because this is an area where we are, as I was telling Mike Starr from Georgia Cities Foundation, we're gradually expanding the footprint of our downtown area. It's no longer just the square, but if you go north, you go all the way up to Sweetland Amphitheater. Now coming to the south, we have the District 4 Public Health Building, as well as now this brewery here. We're also, of course, moving west towards LaGrange College as well with some projects. So it's very nice to see not only investment in downtown, but the expansion of the footprint of downtown. I think that's something that we should all celebrate. We have a lot of people to thank for the investment, certainly the investors themselves, but we also, most projects that happen involve a lot of partnerships, particularly projects that happen in our downtown area. They could not happen without public-private partnership, without our community coming together and working together to make these things happen. I particularly would like to single out the Callaway Foundation. The Callaway Foundation has been instrumental in just about all of the projects in our downtown area, but certainly they have been very instrumental in acquiring this property and now repurposing it for a new use. And that's something that also we should celebrate, is that the building is not going to just fall down, be derelict. It's going to be reused. It had a former life as a tire company and service center. Now it will take on a new life as a brewery. But it's repurposing that for a new important purpose. And certainly the Callaway Foundation, Spear, and all the trustees, I know a number of them are gathered here. We appreciate your continued investment and support in downtown. Certainly thank the Downtown Development Authority Bobby Carmichael, and all of the board members of the DDA. The DDA of LaGrange is probably one of the most active of any community around, and certainly a community of our size, and you can just ride around and see the evidence of all that they have been able to accomplish. Certainly appreciate the Department of Community Affairs and the Georgia Cities Foundation. I mentioned Mike a minute ago for the revolving loan fund support of this project, and the ongoing support of the City Council, because the City Council has made downtown LaGrange a priority, and it will continue to be a priority for years to come. This is an exciting day because it also celebrates entrepreneurship, and you'll hear in a minute from the entrepreneurs who went out and raised the money, raised the capital to invest in this facility, to take advantage of what is definitely a wave of interest in craft brewing around the country, really, but certainly in Georgia. And so I appreciate their being willing to take the risk that entrepreneurs do on this type of investment. So another exciting day for our city, plenty to celebrate. Appreciate you coming out to participate in this, and I know that there will be some refreshment at the end of the speeches, so I'll just sort of end it there, and I'll turn it over to Spear Burdett, who is the president of the Callaway Foundation, for remarks.
Thank you, Jim. Let me first take the opportunity to introduce the trustees of the foundation that are here. Meredith Key, if you'd raise your hand, Jane Alice Craig, Ellen Hudson Harris, Ida Russell, and Chase Hudson, and Charles Hudson. I think I got everybody. Esther Rainey, Secretary-Treasurer of the foundation. When the foundation bought this property, we really had no idea what its use would be, but we thought one day there would be a good use for this. And I remember the day that we were first approached with the idea that this might be a brewery. I hope Jane Alice won't mind me sharing this. I was talking to her about it, and I said, you know, I really don't know much about craft beer, but you know, a lot of people really are drinking craft beer now. There's a place up in Noonan where you get a card, and she reached down in her wallet and said, you mean like this? So again, this is an industry that is really storming into Georgia in a big way. It's in North Carolina in a big way, and certainly out west. And there's some law changes that still need to happen in Georgia to make this easier to operate breweries like this. This facility and the visioning that's gone on here obviously couldn't have happened without the partnership of the Callaway Foundation with the DLDA, and I commend Bobby Carmichael particularly in helping me and working through the numbers and the financing and the way that we could put this together in a way that the foundation could participate, and it could end up being a really viable entity and a tourist destination, not only to LaGrange but especially to our downtown. Again, we're thrilled to be a part of this. We think that, as Jim said, the opportunity to keep this really unique building intact and to add to it and enhance it and to bring people to LaGrange and to downtown and to the south end of town is especially gratifying. This is a part, you'll notice that with this project going on and obviously the District 4 Health Building across the street, we have announced that Bull Street is going to be realigned, and the street will end up going down Pierce and coming around here, so there's a lot of change happening on this south end of downtown, which is bringing it more into the fabric of our total downtown. And again, a lot to look forward to and a lot to be excited about. Again, thank you. The Callaway Foundation's happy to be involved in this, and we look forward to this being a really viable part of the fabric of our community. At this point, I'd like to call on Paige Estes, President of our Chamber of Commerce. Paige.
Well, this is definitely a true Chamber of Commerce day. I think Anthony may take credit for ordering up the weather, but as the Chamber, we always like to say that we have a little line upstairs. So a beautiful day in Troup County and especially in the city of LaGrange. Mr. Mayor mentioned, Jim mentioned the location, but I think in walking distance of the Chamber, we may be moving all of our board meetings and committee meetings to the brewery once it opens. So we'll add a little extra fun to that. You know, with the Chamber, we're all about economic and community development, and this is a perfect story that we're anxious to tell those folks all across the state and in the Southeast. When you meet two guys like I had the opportunity to do and have lunch last week with Anthony and Rob, and to understand the firm foundation and a solid business plan that they're opening this wonderful craft brewery in downtown LaGrange, we know it's going to be successful, that they're going to be an employer of choice, and most importantly, that they understand that to be successful, we have to partner together and to be utilizing wonderful local contractors like Batson Cook, to use a great local architect like Skip Design Group, that you'll see his wonderful work, to be able to partner with the Callaway Foundation, the downtown, the city, the county, all these other partners. They get what it means to be operating and doing business in Troup County, Georgia. You know, Georgia may be the top state in the country to do business, but I think that we certainly are the best county to do business as well. And this is going to be one more reason that people are going to want to come to Troup County. And I think we already are lining up 2 new families to come to the community too. So we're going to get Rob and Anthony to have Troup County addresses. As you know, tourism is one of the main things that we work on at the Chamber as well. Just think that we have already over 3 million visitors to Troup County annually, with a $156 million economic impact. Then go back and look at the craft beer industry. 2 years ago, almost 400,000 people toured only 16 breweries that were open in the state. Now we're going to be one of those. And think about the number of people that are going to connect between Sweetland and here and all the other attractions, and especially even Great Wolf Lodge. Our young professionals tell us there's not a whole lot to do here, and I think that we've just changed the playing field in terms of the offerings that we're going to have in the community. We certainly are looking forward to raising the bar, too, in the state. Did you know that in Georgia, we ranked 10th out of 50 states in terms of our beer consumption? So Al Zachary's here. Al, I'm pretty sure we're up there, too, in the counties, right? So we do our part. But we're in the bottom in terms of the number of breweries that are in our community. And so we certainly want to change that tune. And we know that this endeavor is going to be one of the top breweries anywhere in the state. And we look forward to selling that message and getting this community to utilize this facility, not just for tasting, not just for buying in your different distribution locations, but also for this to be an event center, for us to be able to bring more and more people here to the community and be your tourism partner. So the Chamber is certainly ready to take the leap into the craft beer industry with all of you all. We look forward to raising our glass in just a minute to celebrate another wonderful opportunity in downtown LaGrange. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Downtown himself. Back to Bobby.
Well, thank you, Paige. A lot of folks have been thanked, and I want to reinforce the support from the Callaway Foundation. For sure, this would not have happened with the money they put into this project, the donation of this site to the Downtown Authority. The Downtown Authority owns this site now, and we have a grant from the Callaway Foundation to do the renovation. But also, the rest of the financial package would not happen without some of our other partners. Calumet Bank is making us a first mortgage, so we appreciate their participation. But also, the 2 entities in Atlanta that we use quite frequently, the Georgia Cities Foundation, Mike Starr and his wife Susan are here. Mike is the chairman of the board of the Georgia Cities Foundation. They have approved a $250,000 loan for this project, which we appreciate. Also, the Department of Community Affairs Downtown Revolving Loan Fund, which has been used 6 times in downtown LaGrange, and it will be used a 7th time on this building, provides gap financing to make at an attractive rate to make this a feasible project for the investors. So I want to thank Corin Thornton with DCA, Cherie Bennett, and Kim Carter. If y'all will raise your hand, they're here from Atlanta. Corin lives in LaGrange, but Cherie runs the program, so I communicate with her, and Kim works with her as well. So if not for that piece of the financing package, this may not have happened. So I want to thank them. I also want to thank our construction company, Batson Cook. Been great to work with. You can see their guys over here holding our sign. We've got a board here that showed up this morning, and we didn't have an easel, so they made that easel for us about an hour ago. So, but without Batson Cook's involvement in this project, particularly Chunk Newman, Chuck, raise your hand, Paul Meadows with Batson Cook, Tammy Childs, and Jordan McKinney, the superintendent, all here. They've been great to work with. And as soon as the program is over, you'll be able to walk right in this door and peek in and see the tasting room and the progress that is underway. It won't be long, you'll see some improvements on the outside. I also want to thank those local investors who invested in this project. There was a time when we needed some more capital in the project. And if not for the local people who decided to invest in their community and in the downtown, this would not have happened. So I want to thank those people who have invested in this project. And then I want to introduce Anthony Rodriguez, the co-founder with Rob Goldstein of the project. Anthony and Rob put on a downtown craft beer festival a little over a year ago on Main Street. Y'all will recall that event was very successful. And at that time, I think they were putting their toe in downtown LaGrange to see what our interest was in craft beer. And thank you for coming out and supporting that, because it told them that LaGrange was a place they might want to invest. Anthony has worked 12 years at Red Brick Brewing Company in Atlanta, so he has a wealth of experience. He'll be the CEO of the company, and we're excited that these two guys are going to run this business with their board of directors. So, Anthony, come up and tell us a little bit more about your project.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I'm not as good a speaker as everyone ahead of me. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot from them over the years, but I've got notes I got to read from. So, I appreciate everyone being here today. Let me start by saying how excited we are to be in the city of LaGrange and Troup County. Over the years, Rob and I have spent lots of time here meeting with different people from the downtown area, and we're always struck by how overwhelming the community feel is and the caring of the people in this city. And we want to let you know that community is a very big thing for us. It'll be a cornerstone of our business. We plan on and expect to be active participants in the community and doing our part as neighbors and friends. I remember when I first visited LaGrange, I happened to notice the coolest looking building on the street as I was driving by. And I remember saying out loud to the person in the car with me, that would be a really cool spot for a brewery. Little did we know that the city would embrace our dream of opening a brewery, something that we had talked about for so long. This led to LaGrange's first craft beer festival. It was a real test to see if there was a community for craft beer in the LaGrange area and surrounding areas. And well, just as we had hoped, people came from all around and came to the festival. Some were to support the community, others for the joy of a festival, but most of all, everyone to enjoy tastes of craft beer from all over the country. That's when we knew the reception was tremendous, and we knew that this was the perfect place. After a couple of years of planning, negotiating, and working with fantastic organizations and wonderful people, we were able to secure the Westbrook site as a spot for our brewery and a place that we can make our dreams come true. So I just want to thank everyone here for that. And I've got some other thank yous on top of Spear and Bobby. I would like to thank Mayor Jim Thornton. Thank you for speaking today. Spear Burdette and the Callaway Foundation and everyone involved. Bobby Carmichael and the Downtown LaGrange Development Authority. Also Charles and Chase Hudson, who played an integral role in bringing all this to us. Thank you, Chase. Also Wesley Smith, Edward Smith, Charlie McDonald, Jane Lawson, and all of our investors who helped us to take this Wild Leap. And now I'd like to introduce, we've actually got some beers coming out. Are we going to start handing these out? I think now's the time. I would like to introduce, while we're going through that, Rob Goldstein, who is our co-founder and also head of our marketing, and Chris Elliott, who was our beer designer and head of production and brewing. And if you guys want to head over here. I know for everyone it feels like it's been like you've been waiting forever for an announcement, but let me tell you, no one has waited longer than us for this moment. So I proudly present LaGrange's first craft brewery, Wild Leap Brewing Company. All right, so we're getting some beers handed out here. We've got the blonde ale, and what else did you put in there, Chris?
We have a non-alcoholic option, so if anybody wants ginger ale, anybody who doesn't want to drink beer, we're just going to do a quick toast. If you guys are interested, so we'll get those out. So just let us know if you don't want beer, we'll get you some ginger ale instead.
Wonderful. I was really just waiting for mine. Okay, so a quick toast. I think most people have their drinks, and if not, just catch up. A quick toast. I'd like to thank everyone that's involved in this project, the Downtown Development Authority, the Callaway Foundation, all the people of LaGrange. Here's to taking wild leaps and following your passions. Cheers. Thank you, everyone.